to Tips for Success in the Second Language Classroom. In the last two Tips for Success, I talked about target language only, and this will be the third installment on this very important topic. As language teachers, giving students maximum practice in the authentic use of the target language only is what our classes are all about, because without it, most students will not become proficient, as studies have shown for many years. In the last two installments, I talked about the importance of commitment on your part as a starting point. Without that, target language only would be impossible. Next, I showed how the pared down language and the card system are there to help support you to successfully maintain that commitment and to help your students take responsibility for and acknowledge their successes. In this video, I'll talk about some of the things you can do when students stray from their commitment. During whole class activities, the focus is very much on you and your gesturing, guiding the students in their language production. So we naturally see very little English used typically. However, if a student does shout out an English word during whole class activities, this is a perfect opportunity for learning. So seize the moment. This is when students are making an authentic effort to communicate, and these opportunities are more important than any lesson you might design. So what I do when this happens is to first stop the class. Whatever I'm doing just stops. I feel strongly that we must make a really big deal anytime a student uses English and highlight it. It is so important that the whole momentum stops to focus on this. You could gesture for the class to say, for example, in French, arrête. Then go on to gesture for the class to say, remember the class is speaking now, not the teacher, as we describe what Mark, for example, just said. So you gesture, oh no. Mark, for example, parle en anglais. Mark dit, I know. Ça c'est l'anglais. Et tout le monde a dit que la classe parle en français. Tout le monde aide, help, aide, Mark. I know, tout le monde, je sais. Then look at Mark and you gesture for support, je sais, while he says this word. Now finish off with some praise. Très, très bien, Mark. Tu parles en français. Mark sait le mot maintenant. If you're able, as I did here, use the word in a sentence to practice it in a different context authentically right away. Now, once students begin partner group activities each day, this is where we may find more potential for English to pop up, of course. So just follow the same process. Realize that this is a most important opportunity and seize upon it for teaching and learning. You hear a student speak in English to another? Stop the whole class. Identify the word or words said by the student. Invite the whole class to help. Gesture the words for all to say, and then have the individual student repeat those words in the target language and praise. If you have to stop the class 10 times in your 10-minute partner group activity time for the first few days, or even each day for the first few weeks, it will be well worth it. You will convey a strong and committed message that this rule is the most important of all in your class. Your students will understand in a very concrete and supportive way that you're absolutely committed to target language only. So how can we help students to be successful during those first partner group activities? I would suggest that for students new to AIM and new to the concept of target language only, we could keep it simple by keeping the first few partner group activities very short so that they have a greater chance of success in maintaining the target language only. One thing I tell my students is that they always have a choice. Parle en français ou ne parle pas. Speak in French or don't speak at all. They may still take a card if they only spoke while I gestured during whole class activities. even if they did not speak at all during partner group activities. That counts as maintaining the target language only. However, how many students want to be silent during partner group activities over a long period of time? Not many. What I've found is that some students, the brave ones, the confident ones, and not always the academically strong ones, will begin to use a bit of the target language with you and their peers in spontaneous interactions. And when they do, praise, praise, praise. Make a really big deal of it. You may even scaffold the card system a bit by delaying the full introduction of the system and giving a card to each student who you hear uses French during partner group activity time at first. Eventually, with your consistent and insistent coaching and support using all the tools that AIM provides, your students will be so proud of their incredible achievement, communicating at all times in the target language only. In fact, after leaving my class with a supply teacher, or TOC, my students would usually come back to me the next day to complain loudly about the fact that the teacher did not speak in French to them at all. At this point, you know that not only you, but the students have successfully transitioned to the target language only commitment.